Every time I look at my mom, I see my world. I see a protector, a provider. I see a friend like no other. Sometimes I sit and wonder, how do we protect such beautiful creatures? Well, sometimes you can't, especially against things like death. The least we can do is to encourage them to take Tori funeral plan, because they take care of us when they are here, and Tori will take care of us when they are gone. Every time I look at my mom, I see my world. I see a protector, a provider. I see a friend like no other. Sometimes I sit and wonder, how do we protect such beautiful creatures? Well, sometimes you can't, especially against things like death. The least we can do is to encourage them to take Tori funeral plan, because they take care of us when they are here, and Tori will take care of us when when they are gone. My world. Every time I look at my mom, I see my world, I see a protector, a provider. I see a friend like no other. Sometimes I sit and wonder, how do we protect such beautiful creatures? Well, sometimes you can't, especially against things like death. The least we can do is to encourage them to take Tori funeral plan, because they take care of us when they are here, and Tori will take care of us when they are gone.
Have you ever walked into a store, tried to buy something nice for yourself, only to find, wait, do I have enough cash? Don't worry, CPay has got you covered. Ask a friend, Nzame through CPay. First, request payment. Enter your friend's details. Confirm the details. Have them approve the request. Then, proceed to make the payment for your purchase using the merchant code provided. Confirm the payment. Now, you are well on your way to enjoying your purchase. At your convenience, you can deposit, send, and receive money using CPay while also taking care of your utility bills. CPay, seamless payments.
May it please you, my lord, and learned assessors, I'd like to call criminal trial 2 of 2018, Rex versus Cambodia and 4 others.
Please, my lord, we adjourn there with the crown in front of the confirmation.
Please, the court, my lord, telling me that you will hear for case number 1. Please, the court, my lord, and learned assessors, I'm Moshoeshoe and I appear on behalf of Mr. Itwaramo Yapani. I'm with advocate KW Lituka.
Please, the court, my lord, and learned assessors, and my advisor for 3 and 4.
Very pleased, my lord, and advocate Afan on behalf of 35.
Please, the court, my lord, I am advocate TD Olwanyani, standing in for advocate Arjimaka on the watching brief. Mr. Mohammed.
As the court pleases. We continue our debate today with you that you will recall that yesterday you narrated to the court or you explained to the court the route that your party took to the papal podium. Now, you, in your evidence in chief, made mention of a motor vehicle that you and your party, or let me not talk about your party, let's talk about you, that you noticed by the traffic circle or the traffic roundabout where the road that you were driving on from the Katlehong direction joins the Pioneer Kofi Annan Road, the road to the south, if you like, that drives through Hatizan. You recall that you talked about that vehicle.
Yes, my lord, that is so.
And you had made mention of the fact that this is the vehicle in which you thought my learned friend used the word suspected. You suspected was being driven by Major Ramwepa.
Yes, that is so, my lord.
Now, if you could assist the court, please, where exactly did you first notice this vehicle?
It is a military intelligence vehicle, my lord, that is well known to me. It belongs to ODF. It is a well known vehicle to me.
Okay. I want to believe that you didn't get my question. My question is about that night whose events you were narrating yesterday.
It was the first time for me to see them a lot at the traffic circle. It was the first time.
Yes. And we want to give this honorable court a mental picture of where exactly at the traffic circle you saw the vehicle, so that the picture that you have as you narrate this story becomes exactly the same picture that each one of us in this court will have. We don't want, at the end of the day, for each one of us to come up with their own interpretation of the evidence, which might not be in accord with what we have in mind. Near or at the traffic circle, what exactly do you mean by that? There are three roads here. There's a traffic circle. By three roads, I mean there's the Pioneer Road, the road from the city center that drives up to the circle, the road that continues beyond that circle in that south or southwesterly direction, which is the Kofi Annan Road. You are with me up to that far. There is this other road that you were driving on from the eastward direction, driving somewhat westward or in a westerly direction. There are those three roads and the circle. Where exactly was this vehicle for us to know?
It's less than that how things so
I have not said.
So yes, my apologies. We winning for you. It was packed on the side as if it was facing either Maserumo or Katlehong. It was outside the circle, packed outside of the circle, where there was light enough, or where there was where it was lit enough for me to see.
Was it in the road, off the road? Where exactly? We want to understand that.
It was not inside the road, my lord. It was not in the road.
Was it near the edge of the road, some distance away from the edge of the road? Please, we want to understand. You'll excuse me for repeating perhaps the same question, but I want us to have a clear picture as to where exactly you saw this vehicle.
It's 15 meters.
It was about 15 meters away from the road, the tar road.
Now, I've mentioned three roads. I've mentioned Pioneer, mentioned Kofi Annan Road. Let's call this other one Katehon Road. I don't know what it is. The one that you are driving on. Of which one of those three roads was this vehicle parked? Or besides which of those three roads was this vehicle parked?
If
at all it was besides any of those three roads.
I would say it was near. Oh yeah, it was between these roads. Yes, it was between these roads leading to the junction and this village. That is the road.
Please, for the benefit of the interpreter, could you repeat that again? Rather, not again. Could you repeat that? Could you say it again?
It was between the road that leads to Pioneer and the junction that leads to that village. I just cannot remember the name of the village.
Okay. And here where it was parked, you have already said it could have been 15 meters away from the road. Not so?
Yes, that is so.
Now, you have mentioned now what I want to believe, and you'll confirm this. A fourth road. I could be wrong. Is that the case? This road now that you are saying leads into that village, whose name you are not quite sure of. I assume it will be a fourth road because we have been talking about the road on which you were driving, Pioneer Road and Kofi Annan Road. Could this road that you are talking about now be the fourth road, or is it one of these three that I've already mentioned?
Tsela o entse tsela e buang ka yone nna e ka ba ke tsela ya bone ka ke tsela e nngwe tse tlhokomelo.
Ke ka ba tsela ya bone.
Would be the fourth road, my lord.
Yes, so this fourth road that you are talking about, is it east, west, north, you see where I'm pointing, south of the traffic roundabout at that particular area? Is it west? Is it east? Is it north or south? Let's assume you're facing east, behind you is west, your left is north, your right would be south. This road that you're talking about, is it north, west, south, or east of the traffic roundabout?
Ke fela o batla go dumela ka gona nofo ya hae na ya ka e le gore se ka tloga ke nofo ga tele ke wena ke south.
Maybe we should agree on where your north points to, so that I may say north or not, and that we disagree.
This is what I've been pointing, sir. I've said to your left, Leribe would be north. To your right would be south. You are giving your back to the west where the sun sets, you are facing the east. That is roughly, it's not exact cardinal points, we are talking in rough terms here, because we are not outside and watching where exactly the sun rises and sets. But that is the rough estimation of the cardinal points. Now, if this well of the court were to be the traffic circle, you are coming from that direction, where, by that direction I mean, you were coming from where you are facing, from the witness box. Where is this road that leads into that other village whose name you don't quite recall?
Nka re shebise west nyana re dumelane ka hona gore ke kwa.
Okay.
Yes, I would say let's point it to the west that we have agreed upon. This was that is behind me from where I'm sitting.
Yes. Now, we now get a somewhat clearer picture. There is this road now that juts out from the circle westwards. Now, as you are seated, let's assume that you are in that road, facing eastwards. The left-hand side of that road would be the north of where you are seated. When you are facing eastwards, the south side of that road would be to your right. Are we together thus far? Where was this vehicle?
It was on my left.
Left inside.
"15 paces away from the road that you are in, or away from the Pioneer Road?"
From Penny Road.
Penny Road.
And how many paces from this road that leads into this village whose name you don't quite know, the one that goes westwards from the traffic roundabout?
From 20 to 25
Maybe 20 to 25 paces of feet.
pieces.
Yeah, roughly 20 to 25 paces of feet.
"20 to 25 paces from the edge of the road that just out from the circle at the junction of, if you like, or at the meeting point of Kofi Annan and Pioneer Roads." That is your evidence.
Yes, that is some a lot.
Okay. And you told His Lordship that as you approached the circle, you brightened your lights and you saw this vehicle.
Yes, my lord, that is so with the help of the street lights.
Yes. Now, we have now talked about cardinal points. Instead of talking Katlehong or wherever, let's talk cardinal points. Was this vehicle facing to your left, which would be the north? Was it facing to behind you, westwards? Was it facing to your right, southwards? Or was it facing the east, which is in front of you?
The east.
What's that you're talking about? Is facing east. Eastward.
Okay. And your vehicle, when it got to the traffic roundabout, it turned left and not right, not so?
Yes, that is some a lot.
And from where you are seated, you would say that it turned to your right because you are facing the east. You'd say that vehicle, when it got to the traffic circle, turned to my right as I faced the east from the witness box. Not so?
Yeah, I told. But when I'm to the east, pero kind of look out and really left is right there.
We are talking about his vehicle.
Yes, I'm talking about his vehicle as well.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, not him as a person turning. I'm saying I don't when I'm talking about the vehicle. Or how can I very we anyway to your right, you know, there.
Let me repeat the question, please. Okay. For us to understand, sir, when your vehicle, the vehicle you are driving that night, got to the traffic circle, you have already said, in your evidence in chief, it turned left into the Kofi Annan Road. That is what you said. Not so. And I'm saying from where you are seated now, if you were to explain it in relation to how you are seated, you would say the vehicle turned to my right. Wouldn't you say so? When we got to the traffic circle, the vehicle I was driving turned to my right as I am seated now in the witness box. Not so.
No, it will turn left. It will be right.
That you are seated facing east. Not so. We have said that
Yes.
this is where you are facing. You are facing east. You that night were driving, according to your evidence, from Akwanyane Barracks. And when you got to the traffic circle that we are concerned with here, you turned left. You turned this way. From where I'm standing, I'm facing you, facing westwards, you turned left.
Yes, that is what I did.
But you are facing me from the witness box. If a vehicle turns to my left, would you still say it turns to your right, even though you are facing me?
No, it will turn right.
So now that we have cleared that, so your vehicle, you would say, turned to your right as you are seated.
Yes, my lord,
Yeah.
you'll be right.
And I think it follows that it was turning away from this vehicle that you have just told His Lordship was parked 25 paces to the left of where you are seated. Not so?
Yes, my lord, we're turning right. We're turning to the right.
No. My question is not about right and left now. My question now is the vehicle was actually now turning away from the vehicle that you say, your vehicle, the vehicle that you are driving, was actually now turning away from the vehicle that you have said was parked about 25 paces away from where you are seated.
Away from Yani. Yes, that's true. Yes, my lord, yes, I put the second. Now where after the second?
In other words, you did not pass by that vehicle very close to it. You didn't pass by it very close, so to speak. It wasn't close to you when you went past the location where, according to your evidence, it was parked. Is that correct?
Yes, that is some lord.
Did you see the number plate that this vehicle you saw parked there was bearing?
No, my lord, I don't remember seeing the number plates.
Did you attempt to look for the number plate of this vehicle?
No, my lord.
From what you have explained to the court, I suspect, and I'm suggesting this to you, even if you had tried to look at the number plate of that vehicle, you wouldn't have seen the numbers on it, given just the picture that you have painted to the court about where your vehicle was in relation to this other vehicle.
So far, iba when or le haebe o no ka leka o shebe a bo le go bona number plates of green but person so kana kana bana kuliana inili ne paikile kana sulu bana bena kana no kana mo go go no din number plates sa no le iba go
Hi neighbor. To follow the one number plate, Linga for a ball of one.
My lord, if I was able, or if I could have been able to see the number plates of the vehicle, yes, I could have been able to read them, to see them, because there was enough light for me from where I was, or from where it was parked.
Should be having, I don't know what vision better than 2020 vision is, but you should be having a hawk-like type of vision if you were to be believed. That from where you were, if you had attempted to look at the number plates, you would have been able to read those number plates. Your response?
Usually, hi neighbor. Follow the one number plate. Linga on the ball.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that yes, if I could have been able to read those number plates, I could have read them because of the sufficient light, with the light that was there. If I was able to read them, I could have read them.
But now, you have already told the court that you did not even look for the number plates. That has been your evidence, not so?
But about what in the law, but
It's already I think one number plate.
that's what I'm saying. I don't recall seeing the number plate.
My specific question was, did you try to look for the vehicle's number plates? And your response was no, you did not.
Yes, I'm saying so, but I did not read the number plate because I did not see the number plate.
Anyway, let's not over-milk that point. It's beside the point. What is important is the person that was in the vehicle, in your own words. Was the person that was in the vehicle, in your own words. This is what you say. I'll repeat the words in the original Sesotho that you used. Kiboni kara ening ika ikhanwa ki measure mo.
In your own words, you said, I saw a car that looked like it was being driven by a Major Ramipa.
Those were your exact words, not so?
Yes, that is so.
And you didn't say this once. For the second time, when my learned friend wanted you to clarify, you then said, ke moo ke ileng ka hlokomela motho yeo e ka reng yena Measure Moepane ka koloing ka mono.
So that is when I saw a person that looked like it was Major Mepana in that vehicle. Or that appeared like it was Major Mepana in that vehicle.
These are words of expressions of uncertainty. Not so?
Mantsana kia mantswe a motho kang ha show. Bana se show.
Go jalo ke itse ke ne ke mo tshwantsha.
Yes, I said he looked like was
I
was likening him to someone else or to him. Yes.
Okay. In direct terms, you did not positively identify that person as Measure Moepane. Not so?
Go jalo.
Yes, that's so.
Well, so your vehicle goes past the traffic roundabout and gets to the purple, excuse me, my lord. Your vehicle gets to the purple platform where, according to your evidence, you found two motor cars and you were then ordered to determine whether the petrol in one of them could complete a journey to Mafeking. You remember, you recall that evidence?
Go jalo.
Yes, my lord, I do.
Yes. And you told his lordship that your determination was the vehicle didn't have sufficient fuel to complete the journey to Mafeking. You recall that?
Go jalo.
Yes, my lord, I do.
How did you make that determination? That no, this fuel will not reach Mafeking. How did you make that determination?
It you like what my lord explain it.
Ke go latela mo gauge-eng e gona teng.
I determined that based on where the gate was.
By gauge, I assume you are referring to the fuel gauge.
Go jalo.
Yes, my lord, that is all.
So, did you switch the ignition on of the vehicle, or it's one of those vehicles which you don't have to switch the ignition on to know where the fuel is in it? I don't know.
In a sense, and on.
It's already on, my lord.
But you looked at the gauge and said, no, on this amount of fuel, this vehicle is not going to reach my 15. That was your determination.
Yes, my lord, that is so.
Okay. Then a phone call was made, according to your evidence, and complaining about why a vehicle with insufficient insufficient fuel was supplied, and demanding another motor vehicle.
Yes, my lord, that is so.
And you waited for some time for the arrival of this other vehicle. You remember that evidence?
Yes, my lord, I do.
Mm-hmm. Now your evidence then says,
As we're waiting in the car,
ke utlwile hore motho eo ya neng a bua le yena ke Major Moepane.
I heard that person that he was talking to was Major Moepane.
Mm-hmm. My question is, for us to again be at the same wavelength with you as to what you mean by hearing that the person that you had, that the person that was being talked to was Major Moepane. Was it that whilst you were waiting, you were conversing, and mention was made of the fact that the person who had been talked to was Major Moepane? Or what exactly do you mean, in other words, by hearing that the person that was being talked to over the phone was Major Moepane?
That is when Captain Hatchet said, and the belt, we passing by the circle. For the belt, we passing by the circle.
If I'm sorry, it nickname Kapakili Bitoleo and Abichaga Rangeli. They can keep me fella or the Mutara little it's going coming back.
Yes, my lord, let me explain that. Little belt was the nickname by which Major Moepane was known. So when a person said Little belt, we knew that he was referring to Major Moepane.
Okay. So you concluded when you heard Captain Hashati saying the devil says we passed him by the traffic circle, you concluded that Letebele is Major Moepane. That is what you concluded.
Let the two go. Yes, my lord, that is so.
Do you know that Letebele is a clan name?
Not all the way, is to allow spoke. Yes, my lord, I do.
just as Mufugeng can be a clan name.
Yes, my lord, that is so.
Oh, okay. Letebele, my lord, is Letebele. And Mofokeng is Mofokeng. Now, that is you don't mind me referring to you as that is. Thank you.
No, not at all.
What was to which clan did Mr. Hashati belong? What was he?
I have no idea, my lord. I'm not really sure.
I see. Is Major Ramoepani or was Major Ramoepani the only person of Ndebele clan in the LDF at that time?
And I can have a level. No, it's not the only one, my lord. But before then, I think it must have been I think it was his paternal angle. It was also collected from
Rangwani wa Moholwane.
of his elder brother or his paternal uncle.
My lord, may I just approach the dog for a second, please? Also, his uncle was also called Litebe, or his brother. You said his brother or uncle.
Yes, my lord, that is so.
Do you know all the people in the LDF that are in Maseru? Let's begin there. Do you know all the people in Maseru that Captain Hashatsi used to refer to as Letebe?
Now, it's about what the possible potentials and I'm some material. No, my lord, I don't.
Do you know all the people of Ndebele origin in the LDF?
Now, it's about some material of India. No, my lord, I don't know.
Do you know all people of Ndebele clan in the LDF that Captain Hashat used to refer to as Letebe?
No, my lord, I didn't know that.
Have you served in the military intelligence in your career within the LDF?
No, my lord, I haven't worked in the MI unit.
Have you served alongside Major Ramoepani in the same unit anywhere within the LDF as members of the same unit?
I had to say them.
No, Usukona, now Kilaka was selling the day Samepan, unit in Kara LDF, in unit, and also the Zamokara LDF. That's it.
Only there were attachment to the lecture.
You said maybe it's an attachment.
No. Saying belonging to the same unit, you and Major Ramoepani being co-members of the same unit, SF, MI, what have you?
Not listen to more, the league in you. This stuff is listen.
Yeah, the class is some more compensated for them.
Yes, my lord, we work together when SF and MI were bound together, united together.
For how long?
I hasn't been getting the book of them.
We just spent a long time, my lord. It couldn't have been more than a year.
When was this?
Hopefully, I got 2007.
I think it must have been around 2007.
7 years before 2014.
Yes, my lord, that is so.
Now, my instructions are, as at 2014, MI, that is military intelligence, 3 motor vehicles. Can we dispute that?
No, kind of, but that's not 2014. The temptations in the local police help. No, kind of.
If you look at Hannah, you see.
Can't dispute it because I don't know.
And 2014 is, my mathematics is poor, that's why I'm a lawyer. But it's more than 7 years ago. And my instructions are, these 3 vehicles were driven by at least 8 other drivers within military intelligence besides Mr. Ramoepa. Can you dispute that?
I have no
idea about that, my lord.
And my suggestion is, even assuming, now that we don't even know the number plate of this vehicle, even assuming that the vehicle that you say you saw belonged to MI, the person who could have been driving it that day could have been any one of these 8 drivers other than Major Ramoepa.
Not necessarily
Is that possible?
like in the possibility.
I get to be when I possibly impact. Transit motho ya kgannang tsatsing le ke me jang ba.
I don't know if it's possible or not, but what I'm saying is that from what I saw, I thought as that person who was driving that vehicle wasn't that vehicle that night was measuring far.
And your reason for saying so is because it's the vehicle that you often saw him driving, not so.
Yes, that is so.
Now, let me tell you that SFTC, the human mind works in strange ways. We will argue this with my learned friends at the end of the day. It sees what it wants to see. Do you care to dispute that?
Ke utlwetse o tshwere jwang.
I've had it being said around.
Or what it believes it sees.
Yes, both.
Ke utlwetse o tshwere jwang.
I've had it being said around.
You saw a vehicle, thought it was an LGF vehicle, a vehicle that you have often seen Major Ramoepan drive, and naturally, oh, it's Ramoepan driving that vehicle.
Even him, I thought I saw someone like him.
You thought, still say the same. You thought you saw someone like him.
Yes, that is so.
Okay. Now, I'll leave that for debate with my learned friends. Do you know what rank Major Ramoepan held in January 2014?
I think it was warrant officer.
Could you be wrong?
No, I'm not so sure.
We'll get back to this. You said that you had an MP5 rifle with you. You had been issued an MP5 rifle on the day that you went to Tabapechen. You recall that evidence? Oh.
Yes, like They've been with me for quite some time.
Okay, they've been with you for some time. If somebody from MI said, Second Lieutenant Ketlisi, give me your MP5 rifle, would you give them that rifle? I'm going to Wutawote or I'm going elsewhere. Give me your rifle. Would you give them your rifle?
What's up, Nekima?
It depends on who it is.
I see. If Lance Corporal Ramoyapani came to you and said, give me your rifle, I'm going to Wutawote, would you give them your rifle?
Nekima second lieutenant.
Me as second lieutenant? No, cannot happen.
Okay. You were a second lieutenant and a captain from another unit came to you and asked you for your rifle. Would you give them that rifle?
How's your team when it better?
No, it didn't happen. It was from another unit.
Why not?
Because it's not the superior of my unit.
What did you tell him? What did you say to this captain from another unit coming to you and asking you for your rifle? What did you tell him?
No,
Oh.
he would never say that if it's from another unit. He wouldn't dare say anything like that if it's from another unit.
Okay. Why? Why would he not even dare make such a demand?
Each unit has got its own equipment.
Would you, as a lieutenant, have the authority to give your own unit's equipment to anybody outside your own unit? Would you have such authority?
No, doesn't happen. I wouldn't have that authority.
I suggest to you, perhaps before I suggest to you, let me find this out. What you have just told His Lordship about letting authority to give equipment belonging to your unit to anybody from outside your unit, I suggest to you, applies across, it's not unique to SF, it applies across the board within the LDF.
Yes, that is so.
And I suggest to you that Captain Hashas would know this very well too.
Maybe when I was not some kind of info, and I say,
Not so?
Boy, the way to buy in you was since I didn't
that the equipment of other units cannot be used or be taken to.
That a member of one unit cannot go to a junior in another unit and ask for equipment belonging to that unit from that junior member of that unit. He would have known that. He would have known that a member of another unit other than his, just as you as a member of the unit knew that you had no authority to give away property belonging to your unit to other people in other units. Captain Hashas would have known that that rule applies even to junior members of other units. They have no authority to be dishing out equipment allocated to their own units to other people. He would have known that.
I believe so. A lot.
I suggest to you, say that if it came to a point where it became necessary for Captain Hashas to access MI equipment, he would make arrangements with authorities higher up the echelons of that unit and not do it with junior staff of the unit. Your comment? Your response, rather, sorry.
I believe so.
And I suggest to you that in 2014, Major Ramoya Pan was not one of the people who had the authority to loan out, to give out MI equipment to anybody outside the MI. He didn't have that authority.
That's most of 2014. The matter of the against equipment covered by MI equipment. That's number I believe so too.
My instructions are that Major Ramoya Pan in 2014 held the rank of a sergeant. You said warrant officer earlier. Your response?
I said I cannot recall very well, my lord, so I cannot really confirm it.
I'm sorry, I was consulting your response, I'm sorry, I missed that.
He said he cannot confirm it with certainty.
Does not remember.
don't remember well.
Mm. I see. I want a direct question. Can you dispute this? You don't remember why, but can you dispute it? That in 2014 he was a mere sergeant. Not that there is anything. I'm not trying to belittle the rank of sergeant. It's a rank of responsibility. But I'm saying it's a low rank. That is the rank that he had. Would you dispute that?
No, okay, huh?
When I said,
When I said it,
when we can have an example.
that's what I'm saying. I cannot confirm it. I just don't remember it well anymore.
Now, assuming that this story of MI having been involved in loaning vehicles to Captain Hashazi is, if there's any truth in it, assuming there's any truth in it, let me not say if, assuming there's any truth in it, and I'm not confirming that, I suggest to you that when the vehicle that he would have borrowed from the people with authority to loan out MI vehicles had a problem, he would naturally go back to them. He would go back to that person who had the authority to give him a vehicle, to say, the vehicle you have given me has a problem. Your response to that?
Captain Hashas, Anna, the authority of Gilenu, Yao, what Kakariman with MI, not that of the Queen who Batba, Badukela, and Kara MI. Me, Hyper, Tipa, in Arab Tap, not a who, but one never saw. The belly thing again, nothing to be seen, not a program, whenever, paper, blue. Yes, that is so.
And I put it to you that that person was definitely not Major Ramoepa. At no point, well, let me not ask too many questions in one. Your response to that?
Yes, the person to whom he would ask equipment from would not be him.
My instructions are that not only is it that Captain Hashati never asked him for a vehicle, he also never asked for a replacement vehicle from him.
Captain Hashati, Akaba, a Populu Misha Mepano, in Patapa, Hakaba Popologa, who replaces the Kuru. Well, I get him from saying that.
Can you dispute it?
No, I haven't away. No, I want to dispute it.
I'm so sorry, my Lord. I thought I'd switched this thing off. I apologize, my Lord. I was looking around for people's, for other people whose phones could be on, and sadly, it's my own phone, and I apologize. May I approach the doc, my Lord? One last.
Every time I look at my mom, I see my world. I see a protector, a provider. I see a friend like no other. Sometimes I sit and wonder, how do we protect such beautiful creatures? Well, sometimes you can't, especially against things like death. The least we can do is to encourage them to take Tory funeral plan, because they take care of us when they are here, and Tory will take care of us when they are gone.
Didn't see well the fact of the matter, and these are my instructions that I'm putting to you. The fact of the matter is that Major Ramoe Pani was not at that traffic circle that night or in that vehicle at all.
Thanks, Prof. Me, whatever we wanted to someone Major Mafana, when I say a Gurinian,
But he was at his residence.
and Bana had a play, Modern. I remember a lot. When people are saying that.
That will be a cross-examination of this week.
Thank you, my lord. Mr. Kifisi, 1 to 4 shots is late. Am I correct?
Yes, my lord. So,
Yes, I listen when you were giving your testimony from start up until this moment. I understand you to be saying that you never plan to commit crime with anyone, at least on the 26th of January 2014.
I think my top of how far of gone at now. I when I'm ground. Oh, kapay ikaw. Umus na kapwa. How pali may kimisetso away sa turamalaw manga pa man. Kasi that's in like 2026 January 2014. Yes, my lord, that is so.
And up to this far, it was never your evidence that you had anybody planning to commit a crime at a particular place.
May look on it na dapat go away. Umus na lipat tanim parbeta keso turamalaw.
No, you never had anyone planning to commit crime at a particular place.
Initially,
At least up to this far, it is not, and it is not your evidence that you've had anyone planning to commit crime at any particular place.
yes, that is from my lord.
And also, it is not your evidence that you saw anybody committing crime on that date.
May nakapitu pa kiba kurin. Au na mutu. Yule mwana eza tulamalaw. Kata tili. Yes, my lord, that is so.
Yesterday, you informed the court that you were never called by the police since 2014 up until when you were taken to the police headquarters by members of military police.
Talk about the place. Mba, mbona wetati. Kala na kuyo kutwele so usas police the fatwa military police. This was 2014. Yes, my lord, that is so.
As a soldier, one of your duties is to prevent crime. Is that not so?
We can solve in we are msita kapo. Which is how over utile tulamla. Yes, my lord, that is so.
And that duty also extends to informing the authorities of the non-crime to you, that you know there is a crime committed for you to report saying.
Me kono kinye lori utale tulamla visualo u atba tulamla taro ko utile. Yes, that is so, my lord.
And since from January 2014, you never went to police to report any crime that you know of in relation to events of 26th of January 2014.
2014 talk about police utale tulamla. coming the 26 and 14.
Yeah.
Yes, that is my lord.
That is because you never known any crime committed.
Running about the kilometer into it.
Yeah.
Yes, my lord, that is so.
Let's go to the events that occurred when you get to police headquarters. My colleague, Advocate Mulati, asked you whether you were informed that you have a right to remain silent or not to say anything. And your answer was that was never the case. Did I hear you correct?
Yes, my lord.
Yeah.
Yes, my lord, that is so.
Were you informed that you have a right to bring a lawyer at a police station by the police during their questioning of you?
Now, I go to the now level on to get all that. No, my lord was never informed.
And I want to believe that you were never informed that there is a legal aid lawyers provided by state for free.
Make that a little of so Nadia with the legality, Sika, Pananki, and Muso, Mahal. No, my lord, I was never told.
And you informed the court that you were called. Who did you say asked you to report to MP, military police?
Just measure can it come a lot, and it's KAMETSI.
And when Major Kanitsi ordered you to report at the MP, you could not resist such an order. Is that not so?
Yes, that's some a lot.
When the MP informed you that they are taking you to the police, you could not resist such a direction, correct?
Yes, my lord, that is so.
Therefore, I understand you to be saying that you going to the police, it was not your personal decision.
How should I go? Yes, the thing in the say how you get into more. Yes, my lord, that is so.
My lord, may I, if you leave sick day, leave to seek clarity on one matter. Thank you, my lord. Let's forge ahead that day, please. You gave your statement at the police and you signed for saying.
Yes, that is so.
And that was in 2017.
Yes, my lord, that is so.
Was that statement right to you?
Last one. Last one. Yes, my lord, it's right to me.
And you confirmed the contents thereof.
Yes, my lord, that is so.
As all the information known to you by then,
Yes, my lord, that is so.
now I'm going to beg you leave that a witness be given his statement. Well, I'm being asked by who. I think the crown is the one who holds the original statement, and they're the ones to give the witness his statement.
You don't readily have the statement, my lord. Otherwise, if you'd be given chance to look at the statement.
In the interest of progress, my lord, I will ask one of my colleagues to may I approach the witness, ma'am? Can you confirm to the court that is your statement? And please go through it quickly.
About with your permission, may I dash out quickly out the back?
Confirm to it, my lord.
Yes, that. Can you confirm to the court that in your statement there is no mention of calls being made while at the place called Setale Samopapa? That is Papal Place, my lord.
Now, okay, let's part of it. It means I want to move and go. Get it. Na go dealing stand some of up. Go. Let them have. Or tabe high statement mo. Yo, let it call. Ako, call line. Let it call in a good limo. Tabe call. Ya full call. No matter that's not here.
And it doesn't appear and I put to you that what you have said before this court demonstrated that your story keeps evolving.
So listen, couple of them on who wants us. There was a house in the people.
I so they have to.
No, my lord, it is not that they're evolving or changing.
And can you confirm to His Lordship that before this court you have said much more than what is contained in your statement?
Statement itself. Yes, my lord, that is so.
That's another instance of your testimony evolving. The clients I'm representing, A3 and A4.
Yes, not answered.
Okay.
Yes, that's so, my lord.
And when I started, we agreed that one Hashat is not here to answer for himself, correct?
Yes, my lord, that's the case. I mean, that's true.
Yes. My instructions are that from A3 and 4, they were never at home of Hashat on the night in question.
They were with him, my lord.
My instructions are that they could not unload the weapons in your vehicle as you alleged because they were not at Hashat's place.
It is them who unloaded the weapons, my lord.
And they say you could not drive them to Setaling at Papa's place, my lord, because they were not at Hashat's place on that night.
It was me driving them to Stalin, my lord. I drove them to Stalin myself.
And they said you never took them to Stalin and left them there.
Never always has Stalin or Siamu. I left them there, my lord.
All that you are testifying about, they know nothing about.
So that's the last thing to find out. Pasona, what's the late? It is them who was saying them, my lord. What I know is that I was with them that night.
May I take instructions, my lord?
Yes.
Have you ever walked into a store? Try to buy something nice for yourself, only to find, wait, do I have enough cash? Don't worry, CPay has got you covered. Ask a friend, Nzame through CPay. First, request payment. Enter your friend's details. Confirm the details. Have them approve the request. Then, proceed to make the payment for your purchase using the merchant code provided. Confirm the payment. Now, you are well on your way to enjoying your purchase. At your convenience, you can deposit, send, and receive money using CPay while also taking care of your utility bills. CPay, seamless payments.
Yes, that is my Lord.
And for each Amari, there is a occurrence book or register kept to register every moment of an open.
Yes, that is my Lord.
And any disposed of ammunition will be recorded.
That is my Lord.
And such recording will be made by the person responsible for overkeeping of that armor.
Yes, that is my Lord.
And there is no exception to this.
Also, it's different, my Lord.
How was it different?
Ile papane ka hore thepa ene dula ka mono e le ikarabela batho le sebetsang le yona.
It was different in the sense that that equipment that was kept there, it was equipment that was responsible for the team that I was working with, for the team that was responsible for.
You know, it's not lost Mr. Mapakeng, that team leader, the captain Ashas.
That means the key was kept. Was kept by two people. That is Captain Hashatzi and the team leader.
And that says the recordings on the register will reflect either you or Hashat.
Yes, they would reflect as to which team leader would be on duty on that day. Captain Hashatzi never recorded on any register.
But for you, you will make such recording.
Yes, but we recorded, my Lord.
And that recording is there for a purpose.
Yes, there is, my Lord.
One among others is for accountability purpose.
Yes, my Lord, that is so.
And for what purpose?
Yes, my Lord, that is so.
And such piece of record will be essential to assist the honorable court to get a clear picture.
mme recording eno e tla ba bohlokwa bakeng sa hore e thuse lepotla hore se ka lebelele
Ee, ha ba le teng.
if it's there.
And you have stated that movement was between you and Hashatsi of that register or the keys. That will include when there is additional weaponry brought to that armory, such will be recorded.
e jalo go ntse sena go tla bakeng sa ha o le team leader le fashatsi mme go no bolela ka le hape go eketsa thepa ehlile recording eno e tla bontsha. Yes, my lord, that is so.
And the unit commander will ordinarily have an access to such recordings.
Being commander ehlile ntho e ne no ba go tla ba le ka kgona ka bontsha go ntse.
Ee, ka tokelo o tla ba le bona.
By right, yes, he has to have access to such a recording.
In case of discrepancy or anomaly, he will take action.
Mo e bang e ka ntsha di-balance go bona gore na go etseng ka nka pha.
Ee, o na le tokelo eo.
Yes, yes, right.
And we agreed or used informed the honorable court that in 2014, who was the overall commander of the SF unit,
No, ka 2014 is in the mine over commander ya special forces.
O no le ntse o sa kgone le tshwana kapa tokelo ya mokao.
I said I cannot remember whether it was Colonel or Brigadier Mokalo.
and Brigadier or Colonel Mugalova testified before this court, never made mention of the fact that there were some missing weaponry.
Okay, ya Mokalo ba sa bane ka bopaki ka mona ka kgotla mme wa ba hona mala a bontsha go na le thepene ba la ka go tse ba nna di nyametse ka di miss.
Ee, ke utlwa ntho eo.
Well, yes, I hear you saying that, my lord.
And if that was a fact, one will expect him as a unit commander to know of such fact.
Me haiba mpene ne tsaetse motho na ka lebello go re ka ne le commander ebe wa tseba ka kitsa le haiba ne tsaetse.
Ee, ke dumela hore ka tokelo o tla ka tsela.
Yes, my lord, I believe that by right he has to know.
And inform the court accordingly.
Me as a supporter, how you are,
Ee, ha tseba.
if he knows.
If he doesn't know, he can't tell the court.
No, has to be able to
That's how I understand you.
Ee, ke dumela jwalo le nna.
Yes, I believe so too.
Well, My Lord, that's as far as I will go with this witness, my Lord. And it is now 4:30, my Lord. I think it's opportune time to our rest for the day, my Lord. With your permission.
Well, there's an announcement that tomorrow is Thursday. We'll start a little bit late because of the one of the physio of one of the accused, and the suggested time was we normally arrive here between 10 and go up to 11. Because of that health break of Mr. Ramekwana, I propose that we start at 11:15.
If they arrive at 11:15, we take his break. Is it not possible?
That means we start at
11.
We start at 11.
Yes.
When they arrive at Gorato.
He just takes his medication
Before
11. Yes.
I think they can. I think can be asked a lot now that it relates to his health. I don't know if I think he can answer that for himself, or the violated colleagues can take instructions. We don't have a problem with that. If it's fine with him.
My Lord, our instructions are that the prescription is that he takes the medication at 11, and it means he eats at 11 and thereafter does whatever he has to do. These things go with ensuring that there is a specific amount of time between the taking of the medication, lest the chemical imbalance in the body is disrupted at times.
My concern is that if you say 11:15, you start at 11:30. So even if you say 11 o'clock, I know the practice here is not to keep time. That's my concern.
We will be here, my Lord, at 11, like we were here at 2 o'clock,
Because all I want is the assurance that if we agree on a specific time, please, let's have this discipline to keep time. That's my concern. And my biggest disappointment is failure to adhere to agreed timeline.
We'll show that.
So we'll continue to this matter tomorrow morning at 11:15. So
As a conference.
Measure, you have to come back tomorrow morning at 11, so that 11:15 we are here to continue the evidence. And as I say always, do not discuss your evidence with anyone else until we are done testifying. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. What's now, Jill?
Every time I look at my mom, I see my world. I see a protector, a provider. I see a friend like no other. Sometimes I sit and wonder, how do we protect such beautiful creatures? Well, sometimes you can't, especially against things like death. The least we can do is to encourage them to take Tory funeral plan, because they take care of us when they are here, and Tory will take care of us when they are gone.
Have you ever walked into a store? Try to buy something nice for yourself, only to find, wait, do I have enough cash? Don't worry, CPay has got you covered. Ask a friend, Nzame through CPay. First, request payment. Enter your friend's details. Confirm the details. Have them approve the request. Then, proceed to make the payment for your purchase using the merchant code provided. Confirm the payment. Now, you are well on your way to enjoying your purchase. At your convenience, you can deposit, send, and receive money using CPay while also taking care of your utility bills. CPay, seamless payments.
My name is Madia. I flew in from Johannesburg. I found the flight through a social media post, Facebook to be exact.
How did you find the flight from Johannesburg to Marseille?
Very short, but comfortable. Actually better than I expected for a small charter flight.
Was there a reason why you hadn't chosen a competitor?
I think for me it was mostly about convenience and effective communication between the airline over email and messaging.